Hey, we're live. Welcome to our Home Bar Seminar. This is Bill Grouse. We do this every Wednesday at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., depending on your schedules. I do this along with my colleagues
Yes, Patricia.Castillo.
and our good friend and lender.
Gustavo Segura, how you guys doing?
Good. And he's been doing a great job with the mortgage rates. Congratulations, Gustavo, for keeping the rates down for another week.
Yes, I took it. I took my assignment serious last week, and I did it again.
Yeah, if you went on last week, or actually it started 2 weeks ago, where
Yeah.
Gustavo, we determined, was the reason why rates were going up. And we said, hey, Gustavo, we
Need a
all want
break.
rates to go down and get to work. And I think he missed a meeting while he was working on that rates. And then last week did a good job, got the rates down. And then again, I think got the rates to go down again this week, stayed below 7.5%. So good job, Gustavo.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. And I
You're
figured,
working hard over
California.
there, aren't you?
Yes, and I figured California needed some rain as well. So making it rain as well out here.
So you got rain for us, and you got the rates down. Let's take a quick look at the
Exactly.
interest rates, just because that's one of the key things for home buying. Obviously, is what's going to cost me monthly, and that's going to be driven by the cost of money. So if we go to 101, 2023, let me bring this in here. We'll present it and share the screen. And so, Gustavo, how about those interest rates here this year? What a wild ride it's been, huh?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see there, I think we fell a little bit below that 7.5 there on average. So this again is taking a lot of different examples and averages there on Mortgage News Daily. But you can see the directional move from 8% back down, to something a little bit more palatable for a lot of people. And I've been looking at a couple of scenarios, and sure enough, I've been somewhere in the low sevens and FHA below 6.5. So it's definitely a little bit better.
If you're watching this live or in recording, we have this live stream to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and other places. And if you're watching it on replay as well, put your questions, comments, and we'll come back and either answer them live or answer them on recording whenever it comes back in. So so the rates have been kind of stable for the last month or two. Not as much excitement as we had maybe earlier this year, huh?
Right, yeah. But yesterday was an important day. We had inflation reports come in, and inflation showed that the economy was slowing down a little bit. I think that's what the Federal Reserve is looking for. Jerome Powell's waiting for this to happen, and sure enough, right now we came down from 3.7 down to 3.2%, which is great. And today we had wholesale inflation as well come down. So I think everything is pointing in the direction of a little bit of a slowdown. So now it's going to be interesting. They have their December meeting. I think it's December 13th. And then we're going to see whether they just continue this pause, right? There's no more raising of the rates. And if that continues, I think it'll be a lot of good news for the market.
And to translate what the Fed says, if they can just destroy enough jobs and make enough people unemployed, ruin enough businesses, and make enough households scrimping and stop spending money on things like food and gas, then the rates will come down, and then the wealthy people can invest and buy more stuff. Is really kind of what the Fed's saying. Is that kind of a shorthand version of it?
It could happen like that. Yes. They need to pump up the economy again. That's when rates will come down, right? So everything slows down, and if it slows down too much or too rapid, they will bring down the rates so that we can start spending money again, right? But a lot of times that takes time, because once you put us in the savings mentality and people are feeling that pinch, they're not just going to be like, oh, okay, I'll start spending again, right? They'll say, oh, hold on, I want to hold on to my money a little bit longer for the next 5 or 6 months. Let me see what's going on. So a lot of times when they start lowering the rates, it's a little too late. It's a little too, like, they already hit the wall. But still, it's good because it will bring down mortgage rates.
Patricia, what do you see? What's up in the marketplace?
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of buyer demand still. I was at an open house this weekend that I was hosting, and the property was listed on Friday, and an offer was accepted yesterday. So it was only on the market for a few days. And what was interesting was some of the buyers that were coming in were asking me, is there any flexibility on the price? So this is a market where we're in a low inventory market. We've got a ton of buyers, many more than homes are available for sale. So I was just asking them, why would you think that there would be flexibility in the price, right? This is a turnkey home. It's remodeled. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. And it's just the buyers that are not really educated on the, in the market right now, and knowing what is for sale, knowing what the going price is. And so I basically shared with them that they can't expect prices to be flexible or adjusted in a downward pattern on homes that are in this great condition, right? And even when you're looking at homes that need work, that need fixing, those are still actually in demand as well by investors. And so I wanted to, can I present something really quick, Bill?
Patricia, you can do whatever you want.
Thanks.
I'm not going to say no to you. Gustavo, you can say no to Patricia?
No, not at all.
Okay, go right ahead.
All right. So here,
look at you with the technology. Look at this, Patricia.
This is what I took with me to the open house to share with buyers, because I wanted to show them it's not just me as a realtor saying prices are not going to go down. But let's take a look here from 2021, 2022 to 2023. This is basically the percent of list price received for sales. And this is directly from the California Regional Multiple Listing Service. So it's not information that we just pulled out from the sky. This is basically showing here the dark gray represents single family homes, and the blue represents condos and townhomes. So up at the top, since 2021 of September year to date, we can see straight across from left to right, the prices that homes are selling for are at or above the list price. So we're going back 2 years from today, right? So I think that's pretty significant for somebody to, to really grasp what's going on right now in the real estate market. So I was sharing that with buyers this week, and I think it really helped put everything into perspective for them as far as, where the prices are at. Let's look at where we've been at for the last 2 years. And the fact that, when you listen to the news, it sounds like the market's going to crash any time now. Prices are going to go down or whatever the case may be. But that's just not happening. And so I printed this directly from the MLS to share it with home buyers, to let them know this is what's been happening, and this is the trajectory even for next year. Because like Gustavo was saying, hopefully the interest rates come down a little bit more. And when they do, that itself is going to start driving up prices.
Right. So on one hand, you might get the rate you've been waiting for, and then now the house is going to cost more by 3, 5, 10%. And you could be, in some regards worse off. So don't assume just because the rates are going to go down, that's going to get you what you want. Not to mention, how much more competition will there be?
Exactly. We're going to have multiple. I mean, in certain areas, we are in a multiple offer situation.
Still, we are. On my listings we have been, and my only buyer deal, we offered 2% over list price. I thought it was, our offer was, it was a really good deal. And frankly, that real estate agent had not had a history of pricing it like that, but it actually went for another 5% over us. It was 7% over list price for a clean turnkey house in San Clemente.
Right.
Yeah. And
I'm in a situation. I have an offer out on a property that needs some updating, not necessarily big repairs, but just updating in Claremont. We offered $10,000 over the list price, and we removed our appraisal and loan contingency because the buyer's putting down $500,000. So we're offering more than 50% cash, and the rest will be financed with a hard money lender. But even then, we're still waiting to hear back. And it's just very competitive right now. And this is in the city of Claremont, so it's a really nice area. And even on these homes that need some updating, it's still competitive.
Yeah. Very competitive market. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the thing that people, on one hand, you're losing out because if your house is staying flat in price in an inflationary time period, it's not great. But it's better than everything else. It's better than commercial property, which has gone down, better than the stock market, which has gone down overall. So I think that you have to look at
Yeah.
your situation and do what's best for you, and not necessarily follow what the common wisdom is for everybody else.
Right.
And I sent you over some numbers as well, Bill and Patricia, which I think will follow what Patricia just showed. And I love the fact that you asked Patricia people, where do you think the prices are? What do you think the rates are? That kind of a feedback or questions, because it gives you an idea of, are people ready to shop? I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun to go look, right? It's fun to go kind of like to the mall and all that. But once you get in there, you see prices, competition, you see all these things. That's when you start to get a real hard look at reality, right? So those individuals that are not aware of it and they see this, they can still buy. Maybe they're 6 months away from it, but let's get them, educated, and let's get them into this process sooner rather than later. And the ones that understand, maybe they're doing a little bit of Googling and all that kind of stuff. We can definitely help them out by allowing them to see what we can.
Yeah, I think that right now there's still buyers out there that are very, very interested and very eager to buy. They just don't know what they qualify for. And
Yeah.
so a lot of buyers go out. This is what I've seen lately. They go out looking at open houses. They ask about, is there any flexibility in the price? And they don't even know what they're qualified for. So
Yeah.
why would you be asking if there's flexibility in the price if you don't even know if you're qualified to purchase the home?
Yes.
Right.
So it's so important to
Right.
be pre-qualified, at least have a soft pull done with Gustavo to see what you would qualify for, and if you are interested, then at that time, we can pull your credit.
Gustavo, I have
Yeah.
those numbers that you wanted to review.
Yeah.
Let's bring them on.
Yeah, I think it shares very similar to what Patricia was doing. This is from CAR, right? California Association of Realtors, and September 23 compared to last year. So again, single family homes, condos, LA area, Central. You guys can see here where it's either staying a little bit flat, or we have a little bit of an improvement, or we have a little bit of a drop because we're going into a seasonality, right? But you can see from last year, everything is pretty much, like we said, staying flat or going up. And as soon as these rates come down, people know, and they know that it's good to buy. So it's going to make it a little bit more competitive on these numbers. And these numbers are, high enough as it is. So the sooner you can get into home ownership, definitely the better.
So just to clarify, these are prices that are still
Price
going
changes.
up in most places, down a little bit in the Inland Empire. That's kind of interesting. Everywhere
Mhm.
else going up at a historically normal rate to some degree. The number
Yeah.
of
And
sales is dropped tremendously,
right.
but those are two
And
different
we know
things.
that. Right. And this is medium whole price, medium sold prices. So that's a little bit skewed a little bit, because what happens is if you take the 5 or the 9 houses that you have, the medium is in the middle, right? And you have these home sales that happen, and now you're left with 6 homes. So now you have a new medium price, right? So the medium price may be a little bit lower, but the activity on the equity on the home is still appreciating at a good 5% or 6%, like we're showing this year.
Nice.
So, but even if we look at medium home price, we're still showing a year over year, like you said, 3, 4, 5, 6% in the Bay Area.
Right.
So even though someone may hear out there, oh, we have a drop in medium home price, that may just be 1 month, or oh, we have, the housing market, like Patricia said, something's going to happen with it, or Airbnb is going to take down the housing market, right? There's going to be a lot of houses that are coming in, foreclosures. All those things are historically low. We're talking below 1% in delinquencies. So we don't have inventory coming into the market anytime soon.
Doesn't seem like it. Not in Los
Mhm.
Angeles, not in Southern California.
Yeah.
Right, right. And we know, they may be doing some building. I know down here in my area, we expect hundreds of homes to be done, but they can't have them all done in 1 month, right? They get 20 homes released, and of course they go out really quick. I visited a builder, and they were going to have 20 some homes come up, but they're all sold already because they've got a list of over 300 people that are pre-approved already with their builder's lender.
Wow.
So
And
I
they
mean,
probably offered them an amazing incentive, right? As far
right.
as closing costs
Yeah.
and their own financing that they offer.
Right, exactly. So if the home is going to be ready in March of 2024, they already locked them in, they already signed a contract, they got a great rate right now, and they'll be ready in 6 months. But like I said, they turn over 20, 25 homes month over month, and those are gone already, because they have a list of 300 plus people that are on the waiting list, basically pre-approved. And those
Right.
individuals can't really get an existing home right now because we have the inventory issue. Some of them may be able to, but it's not going to go from over 300 to less than 100 people.
Well, this is why when I was a lender, I used to be a new home builder lender when I started my career. And then later when I was a spot lender like you are, Gustavo, one of the things I did was I went to homes that were being built for spec, new construction, single homes built without a buyer. It wasn't somebody who bought a house and was building it for themselves. It was a builder who's going to build it and then sell it. And I would say to them, all the new home builders, they take reservations 6 months ahead of time. And they get those loans pre-qualified. They have a list of people salivating to buy the property. And I said, and new home builders, the spec builders always wait till the house is done to put on the market. And I say, it's such a mistake. You could have people getting ready for months, getting the financing together and getting the loan and looking at the property, driving by the property, and picking out their finishes, which is common in new home building. Customers always want to pick out their own upgrades, finishes, changes, color schemes.
Right.
And
Flooring.
spec builders never do that. The spec builder always tries to tell the market they know what's best, and it doesn't really work that way. So it's one of those areas I've always had good fortune when I could get a spec builder to understand how the market really works. Of course, at good times, everything sells. In more challenging times, they're trying to get top dollar right now. Everything is going to sell today at a price, but the spec builder is trying to get that extra couple of percentage points. And I think getting their buyers pre-approved ahead of time is important.
So important.
Okay, I got a cold here, so I'm gonna move to wrap this up myself. I don't know how you guys. Last words, Patricia. Any last words for the market right now? We're hitting into Thanksgiving, so what are you thankful for? And then also, I would say, what do you see happening in the market during this time period?
Well, I am thankful for another day of life. Every day I am thankful for another day of life. As a cancer survivor, I'm glad to be cancer free and to continue with good health. What I was going to recommend, because what I'm seeing right now is also a lot of consumer spending on credit cards. We're around the holidays. We have Black Friday coming up, a lot of shopping deals right now, a lot of sales. It sounds like you're saving money when you open a credit card account and save 10% that day, but you end up paying so much more in interest. Most people end up holding that debt for another 1 to 3 years at least. So be careful on your spending right now, especially if you're looking at maybe buying a home next year or even in the next 24 months. The last thing you want to do is rack up your credit cards. So maybe look at some other flexible payment method like layaway, things like that. You could get things on sale for a good price, but really try to at least, pay most of it in cash. Definitely keep track of how many accounts you've opened. That's the last thing you want to do is open up a lot of accounts and have multiple balances there, because it does take time to get those balances down and start making payments. So just watch your spending. Try not to open any new accounts if you can help it, and keep your spending down. Don't fall into the trap of 10% off today, 15% off today, because you're really not saving anything over time once you've been paying on the interest.
Awkward fact, I just bought a brand new iPad before I came on this call. I spent a lot of money. Maybe I can cancel it. Okay, so I'll take a look at that. Gustavo, last words, both what are you thankful for, and then what do you see happening over the next week or so?
Yeah, I'm thankful for, like Patricia said, being able to have family around me, right? Being able to be here, have partners like you guys, being able to have one day that we can always keep moving forward. I always say that to my kids and to my friends. We may think we have a bad day, but if you keep moving forward, that's going to be temporary, whether it's a couple hours or maybe a day or a week, but
Yes.
we need to make it through everything. So I'm very thankful to be able to have that opportunity to keep moving forward. Um, and to kind of piggyback on what Patricia said, prioritize your home ownership. There might be a lot of sales out there, but you got to identify what is important for you and what is it going to take to get that done. And sales, like you said, they're enticing and everything. And if we have an economy that it will slow down, we're going to see more of that because people are not going to spend money, and then businesses, along with the government, will entice us to spend more money.
Mhm.
So if you're in the market to buy a home, you have to prioritize, buying a home versus getting, the flat screen TVs or a new car, big items that are going to hit your credit. And it's also going to take part of your disposable income. So definitely take advantage of talking to someone like Patricia, like myself, get that roadmap of what it's going to take, and then be able to stick with it so you can get to home ownership.
For the record, I paid for my iPad out of reward points on my Amazon account. So
All right. All
the
right.
same all year long, and that was kind of my treat. I closed a big deal. That was my treat. But no, it's a good point. We have to be very disciplined on our finances, and at the same time, we want to live our life. I'm taking my family next
Yeah.
week for Thanksgiving to Florida. It's been a dream of mine for a few years to be able
Yay.
to do that. So we're going to go and
I
enjoy
remember
that.
you mentioned that last year at our business planning clinic.
Well,
So
I'm going.
congratulations.
We're leaving on Tuesday, and we're going to Surfside, Florida, and looking forward to having a great time with my family and my grandkids. And didn't even have one of the two grandkids back then, so we're really grateful and very thankful for all the blessings we've received. We're thankful for your friendship, Gustavo and Patricia, and for everybody who watches this. Thankful for your support and your business. And what's going to happen? We're not going to do this call next week, are we? No.
I think
So
we should. Well,
should?
we could take the day off. I think a lot of people will be preparing for Thanksgiving.
I'm going to be in Florida, and it's going to be 7:00 at night there. So look, you guys have the login if you want to jump in, do it. We'll see. We'll play it by ear, see how things go.
Okay.
But
Sounds
either
good.
way, we're thankful for the time. Thank you for joining us today. We do
Thank
this
you,
almost
everybody.
every Wednesday at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m.
Mhm.
on Wednesdays, and we'll see you guys then. Thanks so much.
Thank you
Bye.
guys. Bye bye.